One of the questions I see most frequently is how to get better at PvP in Ghost of Tabor. The whole game structure is built on intense, sweaty palmed PvP, and learning how to improve can be frustrating because you're losing loot and time and gear. So in this video, I'm giving you my all-time best tips for getting better in PvP in Ghost of Tabor after 2,000 hours of playing myself. So we are super close to 4K watch hours, so if you could help me out and reach that goal, I'll be more than happy and more than willing to give you guys a giveaway or something of that nature. So without further ado, let's get right into the video. So for the first tip is learning from your deaths. Speaking on dying, I just posted a video 2 hours ago going over my deaths in game and how you can learn from them, so go check out that video. But also, whenever I start talking about this topic, most people get confused and think I'm just talking gibberish, but this is one of the most overlooked things, that you are going to die in this game. A lot of the time it's just the nature of the game, but learning from your mistakes is the quickest way to improve 100% of the time. How I've learned to get better and how a lot of other players learn to get better at this game. But with saying that, I'm not saying I'm the best, but everyone, you're going to die in this game. It's just a brutal game. It's the nature of it. But here's an example. No matter how much you study the game of football or basketball, no matter how much you watch or study the plays, or even the techniques, or even other things like that, but it's until you actually go out on the field or court and shoot that shot and watch the ball really go really short or over the rim or etc. So to be more specific, you need to work on it to get better. It's the same thing in Ghost of Tabor, and it's the same thing just like in Tarkov, and it's the same thing in many other games. You can watch as many videos as you want, but once you go out there and apply it and actually learn when to use it and how to use it, then you will start seeing that you will survive more raids and you will actually see improvement. The next tip I wanted to talk about is copying others' playstyles. You need to play how you feel is most comfortable for you. So basically what I mean is that if you want to play full-on aggression and rush everyone you see, go ahead. Play that way, but make sure you're doing it the certain way of where if you get into certain situations when the time comes, you can play a bit more passive if you want to, or you can play a bit more aggressive if you need to. Just learning how to play different playstyles is all subjectively up to you. But by all means, don't just rush in and play stupid and die a bunch of times. That's not going to improve anything. But in Tabor, you can play many ways, especially since there's a wide range of ages on this game. So play how you want to. Don't go watch other YouTubers like Tanverse or Short Stacks, or even me for example, and see how we play and try to replicate it. If you want to play more of a sniping role, playing 100 meters away and looking over the camp on Island of Tabor, go ahead by all means, but don't let how streamers or even YouTube videos dictate how you're supposed to play the game. Play how you want. Now with that being said, the number one thing that most players look over in order to improve in PvP is map knowledge. Players look over this a lot, and I know what the comments are going to say. Oh, there's only 2 maps in Ghost of Tabor. Yes, but it's still important to know where players spawn, where loot crates are, and where scavs are most likely to spawn, and etc. Knowing the maps is the most important because if you get into a fight, you always want to know if you need to run away and go to hard cover so you can get to safety. And also, you want to know where your exits are so you know if players will funnel from that area or come in from. With also knowing map knowledge, you really need to start abusing this main tip as well. Now this one big tip I don't really see a lot of players using, but it's getting your opponent to work for you. You're trying to gain information a lot of times, and in my experience, a PvP fight in Tabor is over really quickly. Boom, headshot, and back to the bunker. But when it's not, you're in a long fight. You shoot some shots, they shoot some shots, and it becomes a real firefight on who wins or dies. And something like this, it kind of calms down most of the time of where it's completely silent. But one thing that players don't take advantage of is that while this time is passing, you could be easily gaining information on the opponent. With no such information such as footsteps or a grenade going off or them reloading is really bad. This is a huge mistake I see a lot of players making most of the time. I believe I made the same mistakes and I still kind of do sometimes. But one thing you don't want to do is just sit there waiting for the information to present itself. You're going to get your enemy to do that for you, and you can easily do that, but sometimes it can end up bad. Either you being killed or you not even getting the kill at all. But most of the time during this downtime of where it's just complete silent, thoughts and doubts start to creep in. You don't know for sure if you killed them. Maybe they rotated, maybe they just full on disengaged the fight completely, or maybe somebody else killed them, or maybe they're communicating with their teammates to push you, or maybe a scav spawned and you think they're walking and it's really a scav. You never know. All these thoughts start to pile up the more you sit and wait. You have to get information from your opponent, whether it's you pushing them, playing it smart and making your opponent move away, flushing them out with a grenade, or just full on pushing them, and because you just have the abilities, because you're just so confident enough that you will actually kill them. There's a lot of ways to gain information on your opponent, so try to do your best to make your enemy work for you, not you do the work for them. The last and final tip I see a lot of players kind of glance over, but I see some players kind of doing correctly, is that you don't have to take every single fight. Remember, all of this, you're gonna die, you're gonna lose your gear, you're gonna get better, blah blah blah. I understand that, but most of it, you want to put it all into surviving at the end of the day. Surviving is one of the most important things in Ghost of Tabor. Now, I understand if you have 200 Karunas and you're just bored with the game, so you're just pushing every fight, that's totally understandable. But if you're trying to get better at the game, you wanna get yourself in a better place so you can win more fights and then prioritize survival on top of that. So, the most important tip that basically a lot of players aren't really kind of doing correctly is just making sure you're out of raid. You can leave out of raid with an empty bag because you got pushed with a trio on island and you don't want to take that fight. That is still you not dying and wasting money on another kit and ammo and also extra NRSs or whatever gear you brought in. This applies to a lot of ways. Say for example, you already killed a few players in silo and your bag is full but you don't have any NRSs. The best decision for you right now is to extract with that gear. Just because you hear a few more shots in the distance doesn't mean you have to take every single fight. If you got a pistol and someone walks by you and they have Kurtek armor, which is I think class 4 armor, they don't even have to know that you're there. You don't have to take the shot at all. We try to get better at PvP so that we can survive more raids and make more money and get better gear. But a lot of people kind of lose that mindset. They don't add everything up at the end. They just focus on getting kills and getting kills and getting kills and loot. So trying to push every shot that you hear will most likely get you killed at the end of it, because those players that push every shot, they end up getting upset because they end up losing gear or constantly be met with the death screen. You need to start prioritizing survival in Ghost of Tabor. Hey guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I know it was 2 uploads in one, but if you guys could go watch the last video, it goes over my depths as I said in the intro. Also, some of you guys may be watching this and be like, hey, why did you team up with that guy then kill him in the purple keycard room? It's because I don't like cheaters, and as you can see, I threw away the saw. That was a glitch saw. Basically, a glitch is going around of that players can basically grab weapons from the tutorial area and basically bring them in game. I don't like glitches, I don't like dupers, and I don't like cheaters, so we don't stand for that. But to the guy who's watching this, have a nice night or day wherever you are. Peace.